Today is Monday, May 25th. Welcome to Big Book Daily. My name is Rob. I am an alcoholic. It is a thrill, honor, and joy to be here with you today as we journey through the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous and the 12 Steps and 12 Traditions. Today at the Big Book, we're on Chapter 9, The Family Afterward. We will be reading page 130. Out of the 12 and 12, we're on Tradition 5. We'll read page 152, and of course read the 24 hours a day and daily reflection. So with that, hope y'all are doing well this beautiful Monday morning, my friends. Life is good over here. Getting ready for the Flyers game this evening. As I'm recording this, it's game 1, round 2, Flyers in Carolina. This probably won't age well. but hey, life is good. We woke up another day sober, and even if the Flyers lose, I don't have to drink over it. I think it's going to be okay. So with that, let's go ahead and get to the good stuff. All right, my friends, so out of the Big Book, we are on The Family Afterward, page 130. And the last couple of days, we've been talking about balance, right? And how it can be a little tricky, especially early on for an alcoholic to have the right balance in working with the newcomer and also making amends to his family. So we've been talking about that a little bit and how over time, hopefully both can be done well. So we're on 130. Those of us who have spent much time in the world of spiritual make-believe have eventually seen the childishness of it. This dream world has been replaced by a great sense of purpose, accompanied by a growing consciousness of the power of God in our lives. We have come to believe that He would like us to keep our heads in the clouds with Him, but that our feet ought to be firmly planted on earth. That is where our fellow travelers are, and that is where our work must be done. These are the realities for us. We have found nothing incompatible between a powerful spiritual experience and a life of sane and happy usefulness. One more suggestion. Whether the family has spiritual convictions or not, they may do well to examine the principles by which the alcoholic member is trying to live. They can hardly fail to approve these simple principles, though the head of the house still fails someone in practicing them. Nothing will help the man who is off on a spiritual tangent so much as the wife who adopts a sane spiritual program, making a better practical use of it. There will be other profound changes in the household. Liquor incapacitated father for so many years that mother became the head of the house. She met these responsibilities gallantly. By force of circumstances, she was often obliged to treat father as a sick or wayward child. Even when he wanted to assert himself, he couldn't, for his drinking placed him constantly in the wrong. Mother made all the plans and gave the directions. When sober, father usually obeyed. Thus mother, through no fault of her own, became accustomed to wearing the family trousers. Father, coming suddenly to life again, often begins to assert himself. This means trouble, unless the family watches for these tendencies in each other and comes to a friendly agreement about them. Out of the 12 and 12, we're on Tradition 5. Each group has but one primary purpose: to carry its message to the alcoholic who still suffers. And yesterday we were talking about a story where this man is wanting to work with another alcoholic, and he talks to Dr. Silkworth and he's like, "Oh buddy, I've got a doozy for you to work with." So we're going to find out more about this fellow on page 152. I was soon sitting beside a big hulk of a man, decidedly unfriendly. He stared at me out of the eyes which were slits in his red and swollen face. I had to agree with the doctor. He certainly didn't look good. But I told him my own story. I explained what a wonderful fellowship we had, how well we understood each other. I bore down hard on the hopelessness of the drunk's dilemma. I insisted that few drunks could ever get well on their own steam, but that in our groups we could do together what we could not do separately. He interrupted to scoff at this and asserted that he'd fix his wife, his partner, his alcoholism by himself. Sarcastically, he asked, "So how much did your scheme cost?" I was thankful that I could tell him nothing at all. His next question, well, what are you getting out of it? Of course, my answer was, my own sobriety and a mighty happy life. Still dubious, he demanded, wait, do you really mean that the only reason you're here is to try and help me and to help yourself? Yes, I said. That's absolutely all there is to it. There's no angle. Then, hesitantly, I ventured to talk about the spiritual side of our program. What a freeze that drunk gave me. I'd no sooner got the word spiritual out of my mouth than he pounced. Oh, he said, now I get it. You're proselyting for some damn religious sect or other. Where do you get that no angle stuff? I belong to a great church that means everything to me. You've got a lot of nerve to come in here talking religion. "24 hours a day, May 25th. AA thought for the day. In 12-step work, the third part is conviction. Prospects must be convinced that they honestly want to stop drinking. They must see and admit that their life is unmanageable. They must face the fact that they must do something about their drinking. They must absolutely be honest with themselves and face themselves as they really are. They must be convinced that they must give up drinking, and they must see that their whole life depends on this conviction. Do I care enough about other alcoholics to help them reach this conviction? Meditation for the day. There is no limit to what you can accomplish in helping others. Keep that thought always. Never relinquish any work or give up the thought of any accomplishment because it seems beyond your power. God will help you in all good work. Only give it up if you feel that it's not God's will for you. In helping others, think of the tiny seed under the dark hard ground. There is no certainty that, when it's forced its way up to the surface, sunlight and warmth will greet it. Often a task seems beyond your power, but there is no limit to what you can accomplish with God's help. Prayer for the day. I pray that I may never become discouraged in helping others. I pray that I may always rely on the power of God to help me. Daily Reflection, May 25th. Progressive Gratitude. Gratitude should go forward rather than backward. As Bill sees it, page 29. I'm very grateful that my higher power has given me a second chance to live a worthwhile life. Through Alcoholics Anonymous, I've been restored to sanity. The promises are being fulfilled in my life. I am grateful to be free from the slavery of alcohol. I am grateful for peace of mind and the opportunity to grow. But my gratitude should go forward rather than backward. I cannot stay sober on yesterday's meeting or past 12-step calls. I need to put my gratitude into action today. Our co-founder said that our gratitude can best be shown by carrying the message to others. My gratitude is just a pleasant emotion. I need to put it into action by working step 12, by carrying the message and practicing the principles in all my affairs. I am grateful for the chance to carry the message today. All right, my friends, that concludes today's reading and some great stuff. Talking about gratitude in action. You know, I heard that from a dear friend, but I'd never seen it in writing before. But there it is right there, paying it forward today. And that's exactly right, helping the newcomer, helping the next suffering alcoholic, practicing these principles in all my affairs. Because it's not so much about the alcohol. The problem is the guy looking in the mirror. And that's not just because I've gained a couple of pounds. I didn't. No, the problem is me. It's my selfishness, my ego and pride that I've got to turn over just about every day. And a dear friend of mine, she says that her sponsor has made her read the pages in the big book. I think it's in More About Alcoholism, about the the actor that's wanting to be the director and making everybody else want to do what they want them to do. So anyway, the sponsor is telling her to read this every single day. And it's been months now. And you know what? I have some homework. I'm going to do the same thing. And why am I doing this? Because May 25th, 2026, I still can get so selfish and self-centered. It really is, for me, a daily reprieve contingent on the maintenance of my spiritual condition. I can't rest on my laurels. So carry the message to somebody else, whether they're an alcoholic or just a family member. I can still carry the message by my words and actions, putting others before myself, and then practicing these principles in all my affairs. And counting my blessings, right? Pausing and taking inventory of my life, right? And where I am today, thanks to my higher power. So real quick, I'm going to do a little gratitude exercise. Let me see here. All right, so I'm going to pick a random, so with this little exercise here, I'm going to pick a random journal entry. And if it's not too personal or inappropriate, I will share it on the show. And hopefully I can turn some gratitude from it, okay? Because I haven't read these beforehand. I'm just going to go ahead and pick one. All right, so this is from, looks like December 9th. Oh, Lord, and I haven't read it yet, so forgive me. Man, my handwriting's terrible, so I might stumble all over this. Okay, so this is a prayer I wrote in this notebook. This is from December 9th. God, please forgive me. Sometimes I let the silliest things get in the way of my relationship with you. Podcasting, of all things, has been a hobby that I have definitely obsessed over. Please forgive me. I am so grateful for the ability to wake up today. I pray that I would dwell on you today, no matter what happens. I love you so much, Lord. And I just seem to have a clouded mindset this morning. I pray for clarity, and I pray for a heart that burns for you. Okay, I am grateful for this. You know why? I feel the same way. I still pray for that desire to serve. I pray that I would dwell on you today no matter what happens. Now, is anyone else guilty of the busyness of life and you kind of forget all about your higher power? I do sometimes. But I will say this, over time, so this was 6 years ago, over time, I've learned that I can talk to my higher power at any point throughout the day. In the hallways, outside during my lunch break, in a room of 30 people, I can still whisper, thank you, Lord, I know you're here. God, I'm going to need you to help me with this one. God, bless that one over there. Bless them, change me. You know, I can say these little things, whether they're in my head or I whisper them, whatever. And as far as the podcasting goes, this is the only podcast I do anymore. Which, you know, that's enough for me. I'm grateful for moderation, you know, realizing, you know what, I got to let some things go. Sometimes we have to say no to good things to say yes to the best things. And for me, that's sobriety. Because I lose everything else if I don't work on my spiritual condition daily. Yeah, I'm grateful for these journal entries. They do remind me of that time. I read another one the other day talking about when we went red in the school system I was working at the time. And that meant we were going virtual and having to teach online. And I was in a new district, a big district, and they had we were building the plane while flying, and it was nuts. And I remember that was such a stressful time only because I chose to stress about it. I could have put things into perspective and said, dude, it's just a job. Just do the best you can. My mindset toward my work has changed over time. I still try to do the best I can while I'm there, but I don't let it rent space in my head when I'm home as much anymore, at least. Or maybe you should ask my wife or kids. Maybe they can kind of confirm that or deny that. But my friends, that's all we have time for today. I've rambled on way over. I hope you all have a great one today. And if you are sober, I hope you know that you're a miracle. And you're giving a great gift to everybody around you. And you have a unique superpower to help the next suffering alcoholic. And if you are not sober, I hope you know that you're a miracle as well. That you have great worth and value. And that your story is not done yet. So today, May 25th, I pray that you get the help that you need. People are dying to help you. And as always, my friends, I don't speak on behalf of AA, NA, Al-Anon, any other sect or denomination. I am just a joyful drunk in this lifeboat of recovery. Honored to be here. And if we were given another set of 24 hours, I sincerely look forward to seeing you right back here tomorrow.